excited to really get into what's going on in the April market and kind of the March stats in regards to Barrie, Orilla, and all the other markets that you're covering.
Here we have is list price versus sale price for the city of Barrie. In the Orillia area, same deal. People are pricing things under value or at value, and they don't know what the current value is. Those are the stats that we have going on in the Barrie Orilla area right now. The garden suites are coming to 2 more townships in Simcoe County. Keeping a good eye on that. They are talking about it. And second suites, they haven't even had that yet. So that could be a little mini gold rush in that area.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and in today's video we catch up with Colby Marshall, our Barrie and Simcoe County local expert, and discuss what's going on in his market. Last time we were chatting, Orillia was absolutely on fire. They had also just announced garden suites, so that's an area Colby really specializes in. At the end of the video, we're going to dive deep into his underlying business model. I know you guys are going to love it, so smash the like button, hit subscribe, and let's jump into it.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and we're catching up again with Colby Marshall and Barrie. Hey, Colby, how's it going?
Good. It's a crazy time still here in Barrie. How's things on your end?
Doing well. So yeah, excited to really get into what's going on in the April market and kind of the March stats in regards to Barrie, Orilla, and all the other markets that you're covering. I guess before we pull up the slides, just any general comments or how's everything going?
Really good. Yeah, no, we're plugging away big time on the garden suites. That's obviously the newest, latest, greatest thing everyone's been talking about. We'll go dive into a little bit more about the new areas that are opening up, trying to wrap our head around some of the new bylaws coming out. There's, the material costs that we're dealing with as well with the build side. So, we'll chat a little bit about that today. Also, we got inventory starting to loosen up here in the Barrie area, so maybe we'll be getting to see a little bit of decline in prices. But yeah, we're just moving along. We're getting houses primarily in the Orillia area for our clients this particular point, for the duplex to garden suite conversions. So, we're pushing forward on all fronts right now, and we're pretty excited to see what this spring is going to bring on. We've got 10 detached suite projects on the go right now. So that's keeping us quite busy. And yeah, we're just excited to see what's going to happen this year. If prices are going to keep going up or we're going to see a decline and have even more people jump into this marketplace. So.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see your presentation. I'll pull it up here and let's jump into it.
All right. So yeah, the market update for April. We're going to go into some of the numbers, what's going on in Simcoe County as a whole. So again, Simcoe County does encompass Barrie, Orillia. There's Essa Township and Innisfil we're going to touch on today as well. And we are one of the primary areas that we're first in the garden suite area. And there's a great investment hub out this way. So we'll dive right into it here. First thing I want to tell everybody is that we are deemed to be essential for our construction conversions. We have, everything that we have going forward can still continue to go forward. Our building permits and all our construction can still continue. So we're not scared on taking anything else on. We're still pushing forward, full steam ahead. The city of Barrie has deemed us to be essential. This includes second suite conversions, triplex conversions, and of course, the newest, latest, greatest garden suites everybody wants in their backyard right now. So we are essential. We are still working. Permits aren't on hold. Everything is going full steam ahead. We're dealing with our suppliers, making sure there's no supply chain issues. We start to stockpile wood, some safe and sound insulation. So we are still moving forward on all our projects, on the construction side for sure. And of course, on the real estate side as well. That's always been full steam ahead. That's been deemed to be essential the whole time. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we are still going full blast, because some people were worried, that with the new lockdown that permits might get held up, they might freeze non-essential construction. Our garden suite's non-essential. What's going on? So I kind of wanted to clear the air there, get that out of the way. We're going full steam ahead for sure.
Yeah, really appreciate that. And again, just love, you always seem to be very prepared, Colby, or always planning for the future. So love to hear that you're maybe like stockpiling a little bit of inventory and stuff like that as well on the construction side, because recently we've been doing a couple videos on potential supply chain issues that could be coming down the pipeline. So again, I love the fact you're so clearly dialed into what's going on. So appreciate the update.
Yeah, we just had 3 tractor trailer loads of wood delivered, about $60,000 worth of wood for 5 garden suites, stockpiled, all ready to go. So, those are the first ones we're starting this year. All through the lockdown, these ones will be starting. So we just wanted to make sure that, if things do get tight, we at least have enough wood to keep our clients happy. And we're also price fixing, right? So we bought this wood about a month ago. It's delivered today. So our clients aren't seeing the further increase of the wood prices, which seem to be going up almost 5% per month there for a while, which was just crazy. Our wood packages have went up 15 to 20% from the ones that we built last year. So that's, thousands of dollars even for little houses as well. So you can see how the building industry could be affected by something like this. And again, the safe and sound insulation, it's becoming increasingly difficult to get.
Yeah.
So, we bought about 5 skids of that, tucked her away. So, we have the sound dampening insulation in between our floors for our garden suites, our duplexes, triplexes, and everything else that we're doing. So we've got everything there tucked away for our clients. So, they're fixed in on pricing, and we're just going to keep trucking forward.
Awesome.
All right, let's get into some of the numbers. What's going on in Barrie? So this is the amount of active listings. So we've actually seen a decrease in listings in April. Now, this doesn't concern me too much. April's not 100% done yet, which is one thing. And, we did see the lockdown start again in April. So usually when the lockdown happens, we have less inventory coming on. If you refer back to December 2020, you can see how minimal the inventory is.
Yeah.
So we could see maybe a plateau in pricing in the Barrie area. This could be what we could see, or it could just be inventories now shrinking again due to the lockdown as well. But we still do have, another week and a half. So those numbers could still climb to the amount of active listings. They are coming on more and more all the time. So I think that bar will probably come up quite a bit higher, closer to what March is. And it'll kind of be more of a normalized spring market for active listings in this crazy pandemic year and a half that we've seen so far. So
yeah, definitely gonna be interesting to see how it shapes up. And hard to know sometimes with the data too, whether will this create more pressure, or has a lot of the pent up demand been already spent,
or has it peaked? Like the value has hit
Yeah.
that new point where it doesn't make sense to buy at those prices in the investor world anyways. There's always the people buying on emotion, but it's tough to say. So next one here is number of listings active in Orillia. So in Orillia, we've seen a huge increase in listings coming on board. I think that this is a result of Barrie pricing getting beyond ridiculous. And people are starting to see the value in Orillia, finding that Orillia is 20 minutes away. Like we've almost got double of what we've seen in March, which is a little unheard of. Usually Barrie's first and then Orillia is second, but that's a substantial increase. So curious to see what's going on there, but we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Next slide here we have is list price versus sale price for the city of Barrie. You can see the green bar on this particular chart is the original price that the homes are listed for, and the blue is what the actual sale price is. So now this doesn't mean that the home is valued at $700,000. People are listing it at $700,000. It's going over that. People are still listing it on the lower side of things. So you'll see $649, and it'll be worth $700,000, and then all the pumped up emotion there from the buyers might push it up to $750. So we're seeing an increase in price due to the emotional side of things, primarily from the end users, not so much the investors. If you're a savvy investor, your numbers are your numbers. But we are still seeing the competing offer kind of atmosphere, and just don't get caught up in the hype. Know your numbers, know where the values are. You can pull the comps. Even they price them $50,000 under, they're all still landing within a $25,000 price point, unless it's a really done to the nines house. Everybody wants it, huge lot. Those are the ones that are really getting out of control, because there's a lot of people that have too much money and they just want it and they'll pay whatever, they don't care. So that's those still are being bought on emotion, but we are still seeing some of the values being underpriced and then being pushed up over what they're actually listed for. But that's why this chart's important to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah.
In the Orillia area, same deal. People are pricing things under value or at value and they don't know what the current value is. Orillia is a bit more of a sleepy town compared to Barrie. So for people to catch on and know actually what's going on in that area and know the true value, you have to be boots on the ground, putting in offers. We're putting in 4 or 5 offers a week for our clients at this particular point. And really is kind of the hotbed. We're getting nice big lots, 70 by 200, things like that for our garden suites. And we're paying high 5s, low 6s, which is still a good deal. The numbers work out quite nicely in that area. So we're keeping an eye on Orillia, and they have the growing inventory there now as well.
Yeah.
And it is further north than Barrie, so maybe the people coming from the city are now seeing the value now that the weather's getting nicer and they're not driving up Highway 11, which is, you know, a bit of a tougher drive compared to like the 400 extension or what have you. So those are the stats that we have going on in the Barrie Orilla area right now. I just wanted to mention the garden suites are coming to 2 more townships in Simcoe County. So Innisfil is supposed to be launching their garden suite bylaw in the next probably 6 to 8 weeks, is my understanding, maybe 3 months at the most. They're going to be allowing a bit more height, is my understanding. We're still wrapping our head around what actually is going to be proposed. We've got a couple of different variations of what's going on there. And then Essa Township. So Essa Township is a smaller municipality, just one city center there of Angus, has probably about 30 to 40,000 people. That's going to be an interesting spot. So they didn't allow second suites or garden suites at all until now. They actually had their official meeting on the 21st to see if the public wanted to have second suites and garden suites come on in that township. And it was pretty favorable, and it was kind of just the first public meeting and the first process for Essa. So we're curious to see how that's going to shake out. The reason why we do like Essa a lot as well is there is a lot of larger lots. So same kind of deal as Orillia. There's a lot of 70 to 100-foot lots by 200 feet deep. A lot of them used to be on septic systems within the Angus boundary. And then Essa, again, is very expansive. There's a lot of farming communities out that way. So there's a lot of estate style lots fabrics. So, your 100 by 200 or your 1 or 2 acre homes, and they're on septic and wells. So how would that tie into, with the garden suites and things like that? Because the garden suites within the city centers, you have to be on full municipal services to make them happen. So if you're out in the country on an acre or 2, are you allowed to build, 10% of your lot size and your lot's 2 acres? We don't know yet. So keeping a close eye on that, seeing how they're going to make that kind of stuff happen. Pretty exciting. They're going to allow for the second suites by the sounds of things as well, and that'll open up a whole new marketplace. Again, this is about 15 minutes to the west of Barrie. They've got base Borden right around it, which is the largest military base in Canada, I believe, or one of them. Definitely the largest one in the area. There's some definitely good industry around that as well in that area. So keeping a good eye on that. They are talking about it, and second suites. They haven't even had that yet. So that could be a little mini gold rush in that area. And again, Innisfil has those large lots as well in the more kind of rural community on the outskirts. They also have a lot of new development as well. And the new development usually doesn't permit the garden suites because any new development has been so intensified that you can't actually put garden suites in the backyard because you're sitting on a 40 by 100-foot lot and everything's just so tiny. They don't need the density there. They need the density in the further out rings, the more rural, older parts of the Innisfil. Innisfil, you got to watch. The biggest thing that I worry about Innisfil is there's a lot of wetland areas. Similar to Essa too, in the Angus area, there's a lot of wetlands. So just do your due diligence. Make sure you're aware of the conservation authorities. That's something that's not spoke to a lot, but there is an Ottawasaga Valley Conservation Authority and the Lake Simcoe Conservation Authority that governs these areas. Barrie's clamping down quite a bit on anywhere in wetlands and watersheds and stuff as well. So if you buy a property in Barrie currently and you don't do your due diligence and you're in a floodplain or in one of these regulated areas, they could honestly just say, no, we're not allowing any further development to this lot because it's in a floodplain, it's in a wetland designated area. Unless you're searching these mappings, you might not have a clue. It's not going to be listed on the MLS. A lot of realtors don't even know what the conservation authorities are or how to look them up. Again, we represent a lot of builders, developers, so we know what to look for in that regard. We know the sites to talk to. We even know the planners and the environmental engineers that can combat these conservation authorities and maybe help get something pushed through for you if you do buy something in these areas. But that's something I just really wanted to let people know, and keep an eye out for these areas when they do open up, because there are substantial conservation authorities in some of the areas. There's a lot of good spots as well. I'm not going to say there's bad areas by any means, but just do your due diligence and know what's going on, and be careful of those conservation authorities, because they are starting to clamp down more and more on those. I know Barrie's taking a big stance on that as well. So
yeah, really appreciate that, Colby, and really just, again, like the obvious insights, because you're so dialed into what's going on in this market and in these townships and like the local level of municipal affairs. This is so important just for anyone at home. Like, this is the level of expertise that you want on your power team. So again, really appreciate you diving deep into the details.
yeah, no problem at all. And yeah, I just kind of want to get into again what we do. We provide end-to-end project management in the Simcoe County area. This again encompasses Barrie, Orillia primarily as our primary areas. Again, Essa Township and Innisfil are located in Simcoe as well. We do venture out to Wasaga Beach the odd time. That's more cottage style area. But we provide end-to-end project management. We can start building garden suites for you by saying 5 easy words. Yes, Colby, I want that. So if you guys have any interest of having a garden suite built in Simcoe County in any area, let us know. We have a great power team to help you out. Some of the things that we do outside the garden suites, we can do second suite conversions, triplex conversions. We've done multifamily conversions, so like triplexes to sixplexes, things like that. Lot severances, infill developments. So we've done land assemblies for condo buildings, land assemblies for state lot subdivisions. And again, we're really pushing the garden suites right now. If you have an existing portfolio anywhere in Simcoe County, give us a call. Let's review it. And putting a garden suite right now could just make your cash flow go crazy on whatever property you have, in the Simcoe County area. We have the Turnkey power team. Every investor book and every class I've ever taken, step 1 is find your power team, build your power team, get that set up. We've done that for you. Give us a call, tie in. We'll find opportunities for you. We have design teams that will design all your investment opportunities that we find for you. We can acquire permits and all certifications for you. We've got 3 contracting crews that work exclusively for us that specialize in multifamily conversions. We've been doing this for almost 6-7 years now. We apply for eco credits, HST rebate credits. We've got appliance distributors that give you wholesale pricing on appliances. We've got a property management team here on site as well. We've got a paralegals that's in-house. So anything you need, we've got the power team built for you. Just come plug in and we'll take care of you for sure. We offer a project management software. So, once we find you your perfect deal, we use a program called Builder Trend. This is a program that goes right onto your phone. An app goes right on there, and we can actually brand it to yourself or whoever you'd like us to brand it to. So this is important for people that are doing JVs. If you want, we can brand your company and do all the work for you, give you weekly updates, send you pictures, all your bills, floor plans. Everything goes right onto this app and is updated in real time, and we can send it to your joint venture partner, who is the money partner as well. So we are pretty big in that space. You people that do have their JVs and stuff like that, or we're still just here for people that want to get things moving. They're out of town and they said, "Here, Colby, take it and go," and we step up that way in a huge way as well. So something too, I know there's a lot of different garden suites going on right now. People are probably hearing different variations.
Yeah.
Slab on grade, story and a half, garage underneath with living space above it. Just kind of want to touch on how we do it and why we do it. So in our garden suites, we provide full basements. So we put in a full foundation. We have 8 feet of height in our basements. We have nice big windows. We're doubling our square footage. This allows us to install full HVAC systems with air conditioners. So we're actually running gas to the property as well. The reason we're doing this is it cuts down on costs for our electrical load calculation. If you have, electrical heat pumps, on-demand hot water heaters, all by electric. It does get a little touchy on the electrical load calculation. So we've taken all that off our load calc and, went with the full HVAC systems, with the full basements. You're doubling your square footage. You have the option of possibly getting an additional suite there in the future. Because a lot of these municipalities right now are currently reviewing their zoning bylaw. They're reviewing their official plans. They're pushing for more densities. So we're actually pushing forward in that way, keeping that in mind, and hopefully we'll be able to add the second suites in the garden suites in the near future, which would be really great. We also offer out gas appliances as well, so we can do the gas stoves and gas dryers, which are more efficient. And that's kind of why we're running the gas, doing the full basements, and doubling the square footage as well. And we also help acquire rebates. When you're building a garden suite, there's almost $30,000 in rebates. It's not the grant from the County of Simcoe, it's formal rebates from the government that we can help get for you as well. Hold your hand through that. And we're just letting everybody know this is kind of our value add and how we're separating ourselves from what everybody else is doing with the kind of slab on grade effect. That's just one to let everybody know that as well.
Yeah. And I think it is important because again, there's different situations where different setups make sense, but I really like the approach where you're really taking an eye towards the long term and a big investment, right? And I think, as we continue to see the average entry price, it seems like creep up in regards to real estate. I think that's where this longer term thinking approach is really going to pay off for a lot of investors that are committed for the long term with these projects and properties.
Yeah, and a lot of the municipalities that are coming on board right now with the garden suites, they all have height restrictions. So it's not going to be like you're going to be able to rip the roof off, add a second story on. Especially in the Barrie area, they have the shortest height restriction going, just so you're not looking at other people's backyards. So we've got a 4-meter height restriction. We're topping out the height as it is now. Just having a bit of a raised bungalow almost effect, so we have decent windows in the basement. So having that basement for the future and just having it as extra square footage will help with your reappraisals. There's potential upside for a second suite in the future. And you're also getting into a full HVAC system with central air. So you're not, pushing a lot onto the electrical and have that whole electrical heat system, which, you might have to spend more money bringing in 400 amp services and stuff like that, which is kind of rolling the dice because you have to get an electrical layout, and you can't really do that until you have your footings in the ground, essentially, to find out what that actually is going to cost. It could be $3,000 or it could be $15,000. So just that's kind of how we're doing things. This is our added value. This is what separates us from everybody else. And on top of that, we are a registered builder. We are registered with Terion. So all our product comes with a 7-year warranty through the Ontario government. We're fully insured. Our insurance payments per month would make you sick. We have 4 different kinds of insurance. Builder's risk insurance is one of the biggest things. If the house burns down the house next door or anything else, we're fully covered completely end to end. And that's kind of how we're separating ourselves from everybody else, with a lot more people coming into this space.
Yeah, and really appreciate you just educating everyone as well. So again, it is so important. These are big investments, right? You want to make sure you're doing it right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Well, that's it for today. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and
Awesome,
we'll see you next time.
Yeah, really appreciate you jumping on the channel. So again, guys, we'll have a link to all Colby's information in the video description down below. And I just wanted to hit upon it. I know we did last video as well, but the timelines behind these projects, this isn't the sort of thing where you can just call up and get next day delivery like on Amazon. So, if you see yourself on a 6-month, 12-month horizon wanting to start one of these projects, it's better to reach out sooner than later, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like just our permit time right now, it's not like a standard second suite. There's quite a few extra steps. With the second suite, we can get the drawings done in 2 weeks and submit them to the city of Barrie, have a permit within 6 weeks. Not the case for the garden suites. You have to have your design done, then send it off for engineering for the roofing, and have your engineering done for your heating system. So, we're probably 6 to 8 weeks just getting our permit set together. And then the town has their crack at it, which is usually about a month or so. So you're usually 2 or 3 months before you get your permit in hand. And then, we're probably taking about 5 months to build them, maybe 6, depending on how much we have on our plate. So yeah, if you're interested, let us know. Weather is contingent on these as well. We're not going to be starting building houses in November, December, and try and build through the winter. We would like to start back in August, September would be ideal. Maybe October we could do as well, but we want to get her closed in before the crappy weather comes. It'd be more affordable for you once you get into, heating the home and heated tarps and everything for your foundations and your footings and everything like that. It does increase the cost, and that has to be shared obviously with the client. And it's just not fun building in the winter. So
yeah,
we want to get them closed in as much as possible. So if you are thinking about it this year and you want to do it this year, call us now. And, we'll get everything started and have you start late summer at this particular point. But we don't want to start too late in the year because, again, we are building a tiny home, the whole house from the ground up. So, we are contingent on the weather. We can build through the crappy weather, but we prefer to get our ducks in the row. You'll get a more quality finish and everything as well if it's not -20 out when we're doing the footings and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely if you're thinking this year, give us a call now, get booked in and kind of get on the program now.
Awesome. Again, appreciate Colby. We'll throw all your contact information in the video description down below. Encourage everyone to reach out, and we'll be back next month and dive deep into the Barrie and Simcoe County real estate markets again.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
Thanks again to Colby for taking the time to shoot this video. If you guys enjoyed it, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new to my channel, and let us know in the comment section what questions do you have for Colby in regards to the Barrie, Orillia, or Simcoe County market. Let us know and we'll make sure we answer them on the next video.